So Equal Education protested outside Parliament to demand that the Finance Minister Tito Mboweni reverse the cuts to basic education budget. That did not happen. Let's bring in Rone McFarlane now, Equal Education's Development and Research Coordinator. She joins me now live. A very good evening to you, Rone. Thanks for your time. So learners and parents not tear gassed, I understand, but were pushed back by police. We saw SAFTU protesters in clashes with police a bit earlier on today. Were you able to hand over your memorandum?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get close to Parliament. The police was very strict, pushing our group of protesters away from the parliamentary precinct. We did read out our memorandum on the parade, on the Grand Parade, but we were unfortunately not able to hand over the memorandum, which is really sad in a democratic state that on such a big day, no one is allowed close to Parliament.
You were demonstrating, of course, wanting the reverse of the cuts to the basic education budget. The picture does look a bit better, but better than what you had anticipated.
Definitely a slight improvement to what the minister originally projected in the October medium-term budget policy statement. And we really believe that's because of sustained pressure from civil society and from school communities to rethink drastic cuts to basic education funding. But the victory is really bittersweet because the slight relief really only translates to slightly smaller cuts to education funding. We are still seeing a trend over the next years where when inflation is taken into account, the total education spending is set to decrease every year for the next 3 years. And that's really a situation that we haven't before in our democratic dispensation faced. So it's really still a very difficult picture for education funding.
Yeah, a bit of good news though on infrastructure funding, but I guess, do we know how that will play out on the ground if we look at the payment of teachers, for example?
Yes, that was one of the other difficult things of this budget. That one of the reasons we are seeing a decline in education spending is also because there's a decline every year for the next 3 years in the provincial compensation of employees budget, or put plainly, the money available to pay teachers. Yeah. And Treasury's own documents acknowledge that this can contribute to less teachers in the system, more overcrowding, which can affect education outcomes.
And are we seeing that less teachers in the system due to quite a number of challenges, I think in particular within the public schooling system?
Well, we have the budget has already been under pressure in previous years. It's just that we're explicitly seeing these cuts roll out over the next couple of years. Yeah. And as a result, we've already seen provinces freeze posts where they don't fill vacant posts. We've seen a decline in senior management and principal appointments. So the effects of pressure on education funding has really already been felt, and this is just painting an even worse outlook going forward in terms of teachers available.
Yeah. Rone McFarlane, thank you very much indeed for your time. Equal Education's Development and Research Coordinator, thanks for joining us here on The Full.